Shadows in the mirror in a house perched on the edge of a misty forest lived Amalia, a woman whose mind was as intricate as a tapestry woven from memories, emotions, and dreams. No one in the nearby village truly understood her story. Rumors spread like wildfire. Some claimed she had lost her family, while others whispered that her brilliant intellect had driven her to madness. Her only constant companion was the mirror in her living room. The mirror was ancient, framed in dark wood carved with twisted faces. Amalia had inherited it from her mother, who used to say, "The mirror never lies." It had become her confidant and her nemesis. Each morning, she stood before it, staring into her reflection. But what she saw was not just herself. Shadows danced in the background, and voices whispered. They told her things she didn't want to hear but couldn't ignore. "You're not really here," a voice murmured one evening. Clutching an old sweater that still carried a faint scent of lavender, she replied, "I'm here. I can feel it. Can you?" The voice chuckled, as if it knew a truth she was desperately trying to deny. The days blurred together. The forest, once her sanctuary, now seemed distant and menacing. Her neighbor, an elderly woman named Agnes, occasionally brought bread and soup, but Amalia began leaving the door unanswered. Then, one day, everything changed. Amalia woke up to find the mirror empty. Not empty of reflections, but void of the shadowy movements and distorted faces she had come to fear and, in a strange way, rely on. She stared at her own face and, for the first time in years, saw only herself. "They're gone," she whispered, reaching a trembling hand toward the glass. But her hand passed through it. She fell not physically, but mentally. It was as if she were plunging down a bottomless well, surrounded by shadows that now screamed instead of whispered. When she woke, she found herself in the heart of the forest. Sunlight streamed through the thick canopy, and for the first time in years, she heard birds singing. Warmth spread through her chest, and for the first time, she felt free. She stood and walked back to the house. The mirror stood where it always had, but its frame was now smooth and unadorned. The shadows were gone, and Amalia realized they had never been real. They were her fears, her grief, and her longing for something she could never reclaim. From that day forward, Amalia learned to live with her pain not as an enemy, but as a part of herself. She opened the door to Agnes, walked in the forest, and let the sun kiss her face. The mirror remained in the corner, but she no longer needed it. It was a reminder that the greatest battle she would ever fight was within herself, and she had won.